class, Simple Strategies for Living Your Best Life. My name is Jennifer Shlomovich, and I am a certified personal development coach. Each week, I will share tips and strategies for overcoming different types of chaos. Topics will include relationships, finances, career, family, work-life balance, and healthy living. If you like what you see today, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel by clicking on the bell. This way, you'll be notified when I release new content. Since we just started the month of February, I thought it'd be a good time to talk about setting achievable goals. February is a common time when people feel discouraged about their New Year's resolutions and any goals they set for the year. The momentum that was experienced at the beginning of the year has tapered off by the end of the month. This leads to feeling discouraged, frustrated, and stuck. How many of you have experienced this struggle? It is certainly a cycle I have struggled with until a few years ago. In this video, I'm going to share with you tips and strategies that have helped me and my clients successfully achieve goals. And we will cover why most of us struggle to stay motivated and consistent, how to create achievable goals, and how to maintain consistent success with achieving your goals. So, why do most of us struggle to stay motivated and consistent? It all boils down to what we focus on. Our goals can fall into one of two categories: lag measures and lead measures. A lag measure is the overall outcome we receive from achieving a goal. Lead measures are the action steps we need to take in order to eventually reach our desired outcome, or lag measure. So how does this impact our motivation? Well, focusing on lag measure goals can be very frustrating and eventually disempowering because we don't usually have control over when our desired outcome will be achieved. It can also cause tremendous pressure and stress, leading us to create unrealistic expectations. If we don't reach the outcome we want in a certain amount of time, we tend to focus on what wasn't accomplished, which doesn't feel good at all. Here are some examples to show you what lag measure goals can look like. Example 1. Someone wants to have a new job within a couple of months. They apply to a few jobs that they see posted online. After they do not hear back from anyone in a month's time, they think, what's the point? We do not have control over when someone will hire us. The whole job application process can take time after you submit resumes and applications. Some places may not even contact potential candidates until a month or so later. Example 2. Someone wants to lose 20 pounds. After a month of exercising and eating healthy, they see they only lost 5 pounds. Feeling disappointed, they think, what's the point? And then go back to old habits and gain back the 5 pounds and then some. We don't have control over how much weight we will lose in a certain amount of time. Yes, there are crash diets that people can do, but even those have varied results and may not be healthy options to begin with. When it comes to weight loss, there are other factors that come into play with our bodies and that are not necessarily things we have control over. Example 3. Someone wants to declutter their home. They decide to spend the weekend tackling it. The process takes much longer than anticipated between going through clothing to donate, shredding old documents, and going through boxes from previous moves they never even had a chance to go through. At the end of the weekend, there has been progress, but there is still so much to sort through and clear out. They focus on what was not accomplished and think, what's the point? Time is precious, and most of us already feel our time is stretched out thin as it is. Decluttering can be a time-consuming project and can create a lot of resentment when we allocate large chunks of time towards it without even balancing the other parts of our life. When we focus on the things that we didn't accomplish, it can feel very discouraging. Now I will share some examples of what lead measure goals look like and why they are more effective. So back to example 1 of the person who wants a new job. As I mentioned before, we do not have control over when someone will hire us. What this person does have control over in this situation is taking specific action steps that will eventually lead to a new job. Here are some examples of what lead measures could look like for this scenario. Applying to jobs 3 times a week between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m. and attending 3 networking events a month. These are specific actions with a designated time for them to take place. Consistently doing them can eventually lead to the desired outcome. Back to example 2 of the person who wants to lose 20 pounds. Examples of lead goals for this scenario could be going to the gym 4 days a week at 6 a.m. for 30 minutes of cardio, and bringing salads to work for lunch. These are also specific actions with a designated time when they will be done. Consistently doing them can lead to the desired outcome. And then going back to our example 3 of the person who wants to declutter their home, examples of lead goals for this scenario could be on Sunday spending 30 minutes shredding old documents, and Tuesday nights after work spending 30 minutes sorting through clothes. Decluttering can be a time-consuming project. Breaking down tasks into manageable chunks of time can allow time to be allocated to other things and feel less overwhelming. These are also specific actions with a designated time of when they will be done. Consistently doing them can lead to the desired outcome. Nothing can happen without action on our part. Consistent action takes us to our desired destinations. Every time we do the action that we set out to do, it can feel empowering and motivates consistency. Sure, there can be off days. Things can happen to knock us off track, and we may need to take a detour. Planning and taking actions to take back control keeps things moving forward. Also, it's important to adapt and change. Something we are doing may not be working the way we had hoped. By tracking our progress, we can see if what we are doing is helping us move towards our goal. The focus, however, is still on the actions you can take. You have the power over your life. If something is not working the way you had hoped, that doesn't mean there was something wrong with you. That's an opportunity to ask yourself, what can I do differently that will help me achieve what I want? Goal setting is an ongoing process that takes time. Consistent small actions create big shifts. An oak tree doesn't become a full-grown tree overnight. In fact, it takes about 50 years before an oak tree can produce acorns. Look at human development. It takes a baby 9 months in the mother's womb before it's fully developed. After birth, the baby goes through different milestones and needs to develop various motor skills in order to walk. Each development stage of the oak tree and the baby accumulate and lead to bigger milestones. Now let's talk a little bit more about how to create achievable goals. In order to achieve what you want, you need to have a plan in place. Without a plan, we tend to wander around aimlessly. This can lead to feeling lost, uncertain, and overwhelmed. It can also lead to wasting resources such as time and money. Think about it like this. When you want to go on vacation, you need to have some basic things figured out, such as where you're going to go, how much time will you spend there, how you are going to get there, where you're going to stay, and what are you going to do. What would your vacation look like if you didn't have any of these things put in place? To have an effective plan requires us to be clear on the following things. Number 1, what is your desired outcome? Knowing what you want your destination to be is a first step. If you do not know where you are going to go, then how are you going to be able to get there? Number 2, why is that important to you? When you are clear on why something is important to you, then you will feel motivated to keep working towards it. Number 3, what action steps do you need to take? Taking action bridges the gap between wanting something and actually getting it. Nothing is going to happen without action. It's important to get clear on what it will take for you to achieve what you want, and then prioritize how you can incorporate these action steps into your schedule. Number 4, what obstacles can get in your way? Thinking ahead about the potential challenges you may face while working on your goals allows you to create a strategy to not get derailed. It's like checking the weather before leaving the house to see if you need an umbrella that day. Number 5, how can you prevent that from derailing your progress? After you get clear on what obstacles could show up, you can create a strategy or plan B, so this way your progress doesn't get derailed. It's also like if the weather is going to be rainy, how will that impact your plans and what will you do about it? I am a big advocate of journal writing. I have been doing this consistently for over 10 years now, and it's really helped me become aware of things in my life from a different perspective. Having awareness allows us to make effective changes. What I love about journaling is it can lead to powerful awareness because things usually float around in our minds as a big jumble in our head. When we write or talk things out, we are able to unpack our mental clutter and see things more clearly. An analogy I like to use with my clients is that it's like having a basement you want to turn into a family room. The basement is filled with boxes that you kind of have an idea of what's in them, but you can't remember exactly. Once you open up all those boxes, you can see clearly what the contents are. Then you can make conscious decisions about what you want to keep or get rid of. After you have cleared out that space, you have made room for what you want to create. So journaling about what you specifically want and why that's important to you can be a powerful first step for you to take, because it creates awareness, which leads to clarity and action. Clarity and action allows you to create the space for the things you want in your life. Once you get clear on these things, it's time to break down your goals into manageable bite-sized goals, which are your action steps or lead goals. A popular acronym for this is SMART goals, which stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Specific. What specific actions will you take? Measurable. How can you measure your progress? Achievable. Something you have control over. Realistic. Realistic expectations. For example, winning the lottery is not realistic because you don't have control over it. I wish I did. And time-bound. Giving yourself a deadline. When the goals we have set for ourselves incorporate these elements, we are setting ourselves up for success. I have my own way of incorporating these elements. What I have been doing for myself the past 3 years is set a theme for the new year. The theme I pick represents an area I want to work on with myself that I know will help me achieve certain goals. This year my theme is about creating structure and consistency. It is easier for me to be consistent and follow structures that others create for me, such as at work. I struggle being consistent with structures that I create for myself. I have an idea of what actions I need to be consistent with and plan them accordingly week by week. One of my actions that I am currently working on being consistent with is creating content for this channel and my blog. It has taken a lot of action steps for me to get to this place of me talking to you here right now. I also struggle with being consistent with meal planning. I can have a really good week and then somehow it all falls apart and I order food out. It's so much easier that way, and it's also more expensive. Structure and consistency with this would benefit me and my family. I'm currently working on experimenting on what works best for me and exploring my struggles with it. When I get pulled in a million directions, I can easily get derailed between my day job, family, and coaching business. It can be very overwhelming. For the last part, I want to share tips with you on how to maintain consistent success in achieving what you want. Number 1, frequently check in with yourself and what you are feeling. As we discussed before, journaling is a powerful tool that can help you with this. Number 2, be flexible. You might need to adjust things as you go along. Number 3, preparation. What things can you do ahead of time to help ensure your success? Number 4, focus on things you are happy about in your life presently. If we rely on achieving our goals to make us happy, then when things don't go as fast as we want them to, we can feel really disappointed and frustrated. When we can be happy in the present, it makes the journey more enjoyable and reduces pressure. A daily gratitude practice can be helpful in maintaining this mindset. Just reflecting on 3 things a day that you are grateful for can shift your energy when you are feeling down. And number 5, always be kind to yourself. If you are having an off day, an off week, or an off month, it's okay. Do the best you can and adjust things as you go along. Getting back into action will get things moving again towards where you want to go. Thanks for joining me. I would love to hear from you. In the comments, let me know what tips you plan to use to help you achieve your goals. Also, what topics would you like me to cover or questions would you like me to answer in future videos? For more support, head on over to the Conquer Your Chaos community on Facebook. I will leave the link in the description below. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon.